Okay, you guys, so we're gonna start off with my face primers. Obviously, I have quite a little selection, but I love the fact that a lot of these are just sample sizes. So I believe I have 7 samples and 5 full-sized face products or face primers. So usually I grab whatever face primer samples that there are. I know face primers are kind of boring for most people, but for me, I really enjoy trying these out. So we'll just go ahead and walk through what I own. So this is the Bite Beauty Change Maker Skin Optimizing Primer with Power Pure Maki Berry. Never heard of it, but you know that maybe that's a thing. So it's really tiny. It's something that I can easily put into like a Partners in Cream or something like that kind of a project. It won't take me probably too long to use up unless it's summertime and then I don't wear as much makeup on my face. I wear lots of eye makeup but not as much face makeup. And then I have the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, and it's blurring and silicone free. So I have this Guerlain Laura's Gold, so Laure. This is the Radiance Concentrate with Pure Gold. And this has 5 mils, but I have tried this once. And I don't think it was like amazing. I don't know that the gold will do anything really for the skin, but it is a gimmicky thing, I think, and sometimes people go for that. And I mean, I certainly wanted to try it because I have a sample. So this one I want to use up relatively soon though, because this one, and I believe maybe is this one new? Yeah, this is the oldest one so far, and I'll let you guys know as I continue on. But the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control, so this is very popular. It's the blue one, and I wanted to try the oil and shine control because clearly, like I just explained, that is sort of an issue for my skin. This one has 7 mils, so right in between those other two. And then this is the UD or Urban Decay All Nighter Grip. I just say grip, but it says Face Primer Longwear Foundation Grip. It's just a primer basically, but it looks like this, and I've not tried this at all yet. This is something that I really want to try because I love the all nighter or the oil control setting spray. So I think that their primer may be, if it's as good as that, then I mean, hey, I would be sold. But this is 5 mils, so again, something that I can try and see how I like. And then I have the Tarte Base Tape. This is the hydrating primer, so something a little better for me maybe in the winter time when my skin is a little drier. There's also this one from Dior. This is the Backstage Face Primer, and I really like this one. This is 5 mils, and I have tried this, and this is just so nice. I would definitely buy that, but it's expensive, and I like to spend money on makeup, but I'm trying really hard right now not to purchase a lot of things or at all basically for a couple months. And then also I have all these to get through, so I probably wouldn't need to repurchase for a while, but if it goes on the 25% off sale at Sephora, I might consider getting that one. So this one's one of my older ones too. So like this, and I believe it was this one. These two are for sure my oldest, so those two I have to use up first. So the Guerlain Laure and the Dior, I have to use those up first. Now for the full sizes, I have the one size Secure the Blur. I love this so much. I tried this in a sample and I loved it. That's why I love these things, so they let me know. And then I have the this is by one size, right? I think I said that, and this is a 35 mil. This is the Revolution Mattify Matte and Fix Primer. I realized I was talking too long, so now I'm going quicker. This is 28 mils, so lots of product in that, and this is currently in a project for the full year, so I'm going to get a lot of use of that. This one is the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. I'm not a huge fan of silicone primers, but this one I didn't mind, and as you can tell, I've used it quite a bit, so I may throw this in a project probably next year or something like that, depending on how fast it takes me to finish this one. And then I have the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock. So of course it's a mattifying one, really great for the summertime when my skin is a little more oily and I want to look a little more mattified. this one will be really good as well. It's like, I kind of like the drugstore ones. I'm kind of feeling some of the drugstore ones, but I'm really excited to try this one out, and I know I love this. So this is another one that I really was so happy to get, because I tried the sample. Again, you know, you get those like foundation sample packs or like the foil packs, and this was a sample, and I freaking loved it. And I tried it with like a couple of foundations because I got enough to go under like 3 of my face makeup, like 3 days worth of makeup. So I bought the Fenty Beauty, I want to say it's the fullest size, but I don't even know. This one has 15 mils. Maybe this is the mini actually. So again, I don't mind buying mini because then I can try something, and if I get bored of it, I can, you know, use this up in a reasonable amount of time and then move on to the next thing. So I kind of like that they have minis, but you are not getting your money's worth because you're buying a smaller packaging, and you're going to have to rebuy it more frequently. And of course, all the packaging and everything costs money to create. So it is always better for the pocket and for the earth to buy the fuller sizes. But if my heart is telling me that I'm getting sick of this and I need to move on to something different, then I like the minis for that reason. So these are all of my primers. I currently have 12 of them, and I was in 2020 at the end of the year. I had 9. So somewhere along the way, I added 3 in, actually 4 in, and I've used 1 up for my one of my project pans. That's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but I did get through 1, and so now I have 12. Otherwise I would have had 13. For tinted moisturizers, last year I had 0, and this year I knew that was something that I really wanted to try out, because I feel like I just feel like the foundations, the thicker and more full coverage foundations, were just a bit too much for me. And in the summer, I want something that's a little bit lighter and a little bit easier to wear, a little bit just hydrating almost, and not just coverage. So I got the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. Like, the names on these are unreal. So I have this one in the shade 30 Light, and this is actually a really good shade for me right now. And it's really nice. It says kombucha filtrate and marula oil, and this is actually a really nice tinted moisturizer. And this one's a BB cream, but I consider it still like a tinted moisturizer because of how little of this I use and just how watery this is. And this is one of the ones where when you apply it, it looks white, but as you like smear it out, it changes color. And on my hand it went super dark, but on my face it legit blends right into like my appropriate shade, no matter if I've tanned or not. So this was very interesting. It's like sorcery, and I'm not even sure how in the heck this is even a thing, because I found it really strange, but kind of enjoyed it, a little bit enjoyed that. So these are the 2 that I have right now. So I came in a little bit closer with the camera. I hope this is a better angle. For foundations, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, a lot of these are sample sizes. So let's just go ahead and talk about the ones that I have. This is the It CC Cream. It's the anti-aging one. This is hella thick. Like, I bought this thinking it was a beauty balm, like a BB cream, and I got the CC Plus because I saw anti-aging and SPF of 50 plus. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. So it has the pump, like the where it's just like air pump or whatever you want to call it, and it's a really nice foundation, but I feel like I have to lightly use this because there's just so much, because it's full coverage. But I do love that the expiration date is right here, which is December of 2021. So it does suck that this is going to expire soon, but this is my summer color, so I would probably use it this year and possibly next summer as well. So I need to get a little more use of this, but I have it in my rotation right now for like just my stash. It's just the one that I want to use now. So this is the one that I'm focusing on, but man, is it full coverage for the summer. It's just a bit too much for me. Then I have the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, and I love this. It's really good. It's a nice deep foundation. As you guys will see, I have a lot of different shade ranges, and I'll explain why. In the winter time, I'm incredibly light. I'm usually about an NC20 at MAC. And in the summertime, I can get down to like an NC 30, like even a little bit darker than that. So it depends on the year and how much I'm outside. And even if I use a lot of sunscreen, I still tan a lot in the summer. So I always try to wear so much sunscreen, hence like this SPF 50. So this one I bought in a sort of a mid color, but I also have like ones like this that I'll explain later, but it's in such a deep shade. So if I do need something a little bit deeper, I have a little sample foundation that's just a hint darker that I can add to. But this one is really like normally a pretty good shade for me, especially around like spring, fall, summer, stuff like that, depending on how much I'm outside. This one is also my summer color. This is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte in the shade 104. I apologize that there's goopies on here. It doesn't look very pleasing. I don't like having dirty looking makeup. So I apologize that I didn't scrape that off, but this is a really, really nice foundation. I find that these are incredibly similar, and it's funny because their packaging is almost identical, but I love both of these a lot. I think they're fantastic foundations, and I highly recommend both, especially for drugstore. If you have very like oily T-zone or oily skin, I feel like this is such a nice semi-matte foundation or like finish for you, and no one's gonna wear their makeup for 24 hours, I don't think, but if you do, you need to like rethink your life, because that's too long for your skin. But I also have this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in 102. This is my winter shade. It is quite a bit lighter. As you can tell, the shades are quite a bit different, but I do go back and forth depending on the time of year. This one's just about done, so I'm hoping I can complete this one this year. The next one I have is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury, and I have the shade 4, which is a pretty good winter shade. It just is a hint light in the winter. So then I got this one, which is 13, in a different order, and I got a super, super dark one so that if I wanted to cream contour or like cream bronze kind of thing, or also to deepen up any of the lighter foundations if I wanted to use them. This one is unopened, so I keep it in the box until I've actually used it. So if you see anything that is in their original container, it's probably because I haven't used them yet. And sometimes if they have a sticker on here, like this one didn't have one, but I haven't used this one yet either. So I keep the stuff in my mind that I know I haven't used stuff and I actually really need to. Then I have the MAC Studio Face and Body Foundation in the 50 ml jug, and I love that they sell these size now, because they used to be like 100 ml and it was just huge. But this is the most fantastic light foundation. It's just such a hint of just like getting your skin to look its best without being too cakey or full coverage. I really love this, and I need to replace this because it's quite a bit old, and I think it probably is ready to expire or has already. It doesn't smell though, I don't think, so I'm okay with it. Another sample from Too Faced Born This Way Matte Foundation. This is a 24-hour wear. Again, not used. You can tell by the top that I haven't even used it yet, but it is a deeper one. So I'm noticing I have a trend here of a lot of summer shades, and I bought a lot of these thinking I was going to wear most of them in summer, and then I never like enjoy wearing foundation in the summertime. So I don't know why I did that. This is one for the winter time for me. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Normal to Oily Foundation with clay. This is the 30 ml jar. I've only tried this once, but I really enjoyed this a lot. I don't like this style of container. However, it does remind me of my gran, and she used to wear like CoverGirl, I think it was, and stuff that had the same kind of top, and you just pour it out a little bit. And I can even, just thinking of it, I can smell the makeup, like it had that strong scent or whatever like it used to have back in the day. So that kind of stuff brings me nostalgia. But personally, I prefer something that's like this, that I can cut open later or not have to use a spoolie or a spatula or anything later. And then the last one that I have, I'm sorry this is taking so long, it's going to be such a long video. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation, and it's only like 2 ml. It's so tiny, but I'm so glad that I can try this because I haven't tried a NARS foundation, I don't even think ever, except for when I was working at Sephora and I could get like samples and stuff and like try it before I started work. So this is what I have: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 foundations. And last year, or at the end of 2020 in December, I had 9. And I did bring in this one, so that's probably the where the 10th one came from. All right, as you can see, we have a lot going on here. In 2020, I was at 13 color correctors and concealers. In 2021, in June, it's actually the early July, but whatever. I haven't bought anything since. So halfway through the year, I have 19. So I have up 6 of them. This is the Wet n Wild color correcting palette, and this one has a couple of different shades. So you have your white. I like to use this to add to different things, just brighten them up. And then you have the violet, which cancels out like the yellow looking sullen like undertone under your eyes or whatever. And then you have the green to cancel any redness. And then you have like a little bit of like an orange if you have some dark circles under your eyes. But definitely, I don't mind this, but I rarely use it because I don't find that I have such problems yet that I really require this. I have one corrector and that's it, but I'm adding all the concealers and correctors in one. This is one of my older ones. This is the MAC Water Weight Concealer in the shade NC25. So this is probably a really good color for me right now. I'm actually going to try it. I don't really want to swatch a bunch of stuff, but it's such a nice like light water weight concealer, and it's so light, and I think it would look really nice underneath the eyes right now, and it just blends out so nicely. So I may have to bring this one in into a project, so I'm going to kind of like keep that one to the side because I think that's something that I'm going to keep my eyes on for upcoming projects. And then on along the top we have mostly ones that are brand new unopened. So we have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. We have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. We have the 16-Hour Concealer in the shade Medium Sand. And again, I get these because of my different shades throughout the year. But I'm working on some right now. So these are unopened currently. And then I have this NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Light 2 Vanilla. And this one is old AF. Like, it is old. And so I need to start using this one. It's probably from 2016. So this is one that I'm going to have to really make a point to throw into a project. It's just so old, and I hope it doesn't smell. I haven't opened it or anything. It's been like this forever. So I'll see how that is. I would hate to have put that money out and not used it, but this is why I'm doing this now, so that I can physically see what I have in front of me. But this is something that I definitely need to start working on. Then I have the MAC NC15. This is hella light. It is super light, but again, it's one of those ones that I would wear in the winter time if I'm trying to do a brightening look, like say I'm trying to do like a pinup kind of esque look, like makeup look. This is the kind of color that I love for that. And as you can tell, like even this shade right here, it's a little more grayed, but they're relatively similar. This is a little more like banana shaded. And these kind of shades are really good for me in more like the winter time. So this is the MAC one. I just got this year, so I'm going to hang on to that one until I desperately want to start cracking that bugger out. And then I have another unopened. I bought this summer. I've been trying like a new concealer kit kind of thing, but I'm not the type of person to open more than one at a time, which is absolutely ridiculous. I need to just start using this stuff. This is the Maybelline Fit Me in number 11 Vanilla. A lot of these have the name Vanilla, like the NARS one is named Vanilla. This one's named Vanilla. You'll see there'll be more. But this is just a really nice neutral shade, something I wanted to try for fall and winter. So that's why I picked that up. And then down here we have another e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, and this is in just the shade White. And again, in case I have a few dark ones or something that's like this, that's super dark, that I just want to add a little bit of lightness to it if I really wanted to, I use this. I even use this to lighten up my foundation at times, so it really helps. I really highly recommend that, and I really like the wear and the feel of that. It's not too cakey, it's not too harsh. Then we have the Naked Skin Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. You guys can see I'm pretty low on this one. It doesn't feel like there's much in it, especially compared to other things, but it's so deceiving with concealers, like when I pull it out, I still get a ton on the spatula. But this is from 2016 and it desperately needs to be used up. And it's in a project right now. That's why you can see the value of it on here, because I always add that up at the end of the year if I complete something. Then I have the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade Vanilla, of course. Again, a little bit lighter, something more so for, like, this is my summer shade. This will be more for like fall and winter. And then I have the little mini guy, and this is the Tarte Creaseless Concealer, and this is in the shade, it says 20S, but it's, oh yeah, Light Sand. And then I also have this other one, which is a creaseless concealer, and this is in the shade 20N, and I'm pretty sure that this was in the shade Light Sand as well. So that's kind of strange, but I have a couple of little Tarte ones that I want to try. And then my Sephora one, this is in the shade 08 Palmier. That is in one of my projects as well, which is why you can see the value of it, because this one was from 2016. So something, again, I really need to start working on. This is another old one. This is my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW25. It looks super, super dark. But I used to get so dark that this was like a proper concealer for me. So I just have been cutting back on the amount of sun that I'm getting this year. And this is the Revlon Color Stay Full Coverage Concealer in the shade 01 Banana. It's probably the lightest one, I believe, that they have. And I wanted it again for more like the winter time, but this is unopened as well and brand new from this year. And then I have the Pro Longwear Concealer in NW20. You can see those shades are just a hint off from each other. This was really good in the winter time. I absolutely love this so much. I think it's beautiful. And I don't think, do they make them like this anymore? I'm not even sure. And then my second last one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish in the shade Fair Warm. So I have that one as well, which I've tried and I really enjoy it. I like the Hydrating Camo Concealer and the 16-hour Camo Concealer, but I think I like the 16-hour one a little bit better. And then I also have the MAC Select Cover Up. This is one that I actually use. It's in NW20. I actually use this for underneath my eyebrows normally, but I'm currently using something else. And you can see it's such a watery consistency. Like, it's so watery and creamy, but this is so nice. I wish I got this in NC20, not NW20. I used to think I was a little more warm, but I'm actually quite yellow, like olivey undertone, and this just, it looks like the color of my skin right now because I was in the sun and I burnt a little bit. So it's pretty similar to my skin right now. But that's all of them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So these are the 19 that I have for correctors and concealers. So now we have loose powders. In 2020 in December, I had 13. And somehow I currently have 12. So I don't know if I'm missing one or if I had miscounted. But yeah, I might have even finished one, if I'm being honest. I can't quite remember, but let's just go ahead with what I have here. So the first one is the Revolution Luxury Baking Powder in Banana. This is actually pretty nice. I don't mind it, but you get so much product in here. It's going to last forever, and it's a really reasonable price. And this is one of the items by this brand in like Revolution that I really enjoy. That is so it sort of does the job. Like, usually the eyeshadows not so much, but like this does the job. Then I have the Becca translucent powder. It doesn't say anything else for the name except for Becca. It doesn't say any name like translucent or anything like that. It just says Becca. So this one has like next to no powder in it. It's such a small, I'm not even sure if you can see that, but it's such a small amount of powder in there. Something I could probably finish off really, really quickly. I probably had that off screen the whole time. I'm so sorry. I haven't even opened it yet. Brand spanking new. Most of these are. This one really needs to go though, because this brand won't even be around anymore. Then I have two here, really small sample ones from Laura Mercier, and these ones are both little sample ones that you get when you like spend a certain amount, and then you can put in the code. So I have two of those, and then I also bought the little minier one from the checkout line, you actually get quite a bit of product in here, and it comes with a little like puff thingy. So I have that, which is nice, but then I think if I do anything, I might open this one first and then add these in there, or vice versa. I might just add from this into these. I don't know. I'm not even sure, but it's an idea anyhow. And then I also have the Ultra HD Makeup Forever setting powder in translucent, and these also came in as one of those little, like, you spend a certain amount, you get this thing free. You get quite a bit of product in here, and the thing is, I think this is one of those powders that might cause white cast. It just gives me that vibe just based on what the texture looks like inside here. So I'm not sure how much I'm gonna love this, but there's something definitely that I want to try this out anyhow. But I've had these for so long, like these two and these, I've had these for so long. This one included, this is the KVD setting powder in translucent. Again, this is unopened. I think the only opened one right now so far is the Revolution. I know there's one more that's open, but this one is not even opened yet. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave all these like the way that they are. Then this is the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. This was one that I was super excited to try. It sort of has that same kind of consistency as the Makeup Forever one that just looks like it would give a white cast, but I don't know because I haven't tried it. So I'm definitely going to give these a shot. It's just I haven't thrown a setting powder in the mix for a little while, obviously. So something I need to start bringing into my collection again. This is one that I really, really enjoy, and I wish they made this style. This is from like 2015 or 2016, and it's the Universal Smoothing Translucent Setting Powder by Sephora, and it was the one that had the lid and like this little hole in here. So when you close it, it sort of presses it down, and you like shake some product out, and then you open it up again, and then there's like some more product in there. So it's kind of an odd like little system, and of course if you have a mirror in here it's going to get like just filthy, but it's like an odd little system, but I love the powder in here. It's really, really good actually. I enjoy that a lot. And then this is the Too Faced Translucent Powder in Peach Whisper, and I haven't opened this obviously either. I can smell it all the way through the seal, and it's just, I think it's going to be too much, but I want to try it anyhow. I don't think they even make this crap anymore. This line was apparently a big hit, but it went like 50% off really fast, and that's why I picked this little guy up, I think. Either this or it was like a freebie. I can't remember. And then this is the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in the shade Translucent 01. And I am really enjoying the face powders and the face products from One Size. This one I haven't tried. I haven't opened it yet, but I think I tried a sample of this one if I'm not mistaken. And I really enjoyed it. And also I know Patrick Starr, and he is like all about the face products that make sure they mattify and cling products onto your face. So I have a feeling this is going to be really good. But these are the ones that I have. So I currently have 12. If I find my other one, I'll add it back into my inventory later. But currently I have these 12. We have another section, which is my foundation powders and just pressed like translucent setting powders. So these are not like under eye highlighters or anything like that. They're just setting powders or foundation powders. So last year in the end of 2020 in December, I had 5, and now I apparently have 10. I know that's because of for sure these 3 and this one. And I'm thinking also this one is why my collection grew, because this one and these 4 are all ones that I've had forever. So I'll just start from the top here. This is my KVD foundation in the shade Light 48, and I'm working on this in a project. I'm so sorry, I keep going out of frame. This is my KVD foundation in the shade Light 48, and it has the dollar value on it because I'm using it in a project right now. So these are all like spoilers. Obviously this is like relatively new, and I just started kind of using it for the summertime because this is sort of a good shade for me right now, and I want to try and use this up if I can this year. I don't want to have it around too much longer because it was from 2015 and it's time to go. I definitely need to get this gone, but I was hoarding it because it was really pretty and I liked the packaging and I just thought it was great. But now it's just time to let this go and move on in life, because yeah, I just can't deal with the fact that it's kind of cute, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even a thing. Then I have my Too Faced foundation powder in the shade Golden Light. This one was also from 2015 when I worked at Sephora. And this is almost done, so I'm hoping that I can finish this one off relatively soon. But I have a lot of product around the outer ring, so I'm considering repressing this, but I want to use it a couple more times first. And then I have my MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade C3. And this is the nice like yellow powder. This is the perfect like match for me. It's so nice. I love this so much. And most of these do come with like a little puff, but I never use them. But this is my favorite foundation powder so far that I've ever tried. I love this so much. And this is more so like my one for the majority of the year. And then I have my Studio Fix in NC10, and this one is really, really light, and I end up using this to set my under eyes as well, because it is just like super, super, super light. So in the winter time when I'm trying to like brighten up my face, I tend to use this one quite a bit. The next one that I have is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear in 180 Linen. This is new to me. I haven't tried this. I'd like to crack this out maybe in another Shop My Stash or something, but I'm trying really hard to focus just on these two right now and get some of the older ones out. But I definitely want to try that. I hear really great things about this. And then I have the Charlotte Tilbury tiny airbrush flawless finish, and it's in the shade 1 Fair, and it's just the tiniest little sample. I thought it was so cute, but I wanted to try this, and I figure like it's nothing super special. It's pretty similar to what these are going to give you. It might be a little more finely milled, but for the fraction of the cost you would pay for like an Essence, I mean, it's not like groundbreaking that this is like gonna make or break your makeup, you know what I'm saying? And then I have this MAC one, which is another sample in the shade NC20, which is a good shade for me, and I'm currently using this in a project as well, and I would like to have this used up. And it did come with a little puff, but I since took it out because this is starting to get a little messy, and that falls out. And then I have the One Size Turn Up the Base in medium 4G. I wanted to get this for my summer shade. I love the packaging on this. I think it's so cute, and it's not super, super heavy. And this is the shade. I think this is going to be a little bit better for, say, like close to my winter shade, because it is a little bit lighter. And then I think I may next year for summer, if I really like it, I might try a different shade. But currently I think this one is just going to wait in my collection until a little bit later in the year, and then I'll break that out. And then I also just have these last two pressed setting powders. This one is the Ulta Translucent, pressed powder in Banana from Ulta. This is from 2017 or something, maybe even older than that. It's so old, but it's such a nice setting powder for underneath the eyes. This was like $5 US. Then this one is Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder, and it's like essentially the same idea as the Ulta one, but it's way, way, way lighter and brighter, almost like milky looking. But I think this will be really nice for underneath the eyes as well. And it says that it's banana powder, so I think I might only use this like underneath my eyes, or I think it might put a bit of a cast anywhere else on my face. But these are always going to be nice for me to have if I decide that I just want to set the under eye instead of actually put foundation on. So this is my collection. I have 10 now, so I have a lot of work to do. So this sad little section, this is my cream highlighter collection. I just want to confirm that I don't have anything else. You know what I do? I have one other thing I totally forgot I had. So this is like the whole section right here, little samples. This is the Marc Jacobs Dew Drops, Dew You, D-E-W, Dew You. Haven't used those yet, but I think I just like swatched a little bit. But this is, I forgot I had this one. And then I have my Tarteist Pro Glow in, it's just a liquid highlighter. Stunner is the shade. This one is in one of my projects right now. It's taking its sweet ass time getting used up, but I really like this, and I think I would actually repurchase this. This one I don't know that I would, because it's hella expensive, and I don't know that Marc Jacobs makeup line is staying around because everything is on sale, but I would definitely order this if this was still available. So I currently just have 2 cream highlighters. As you can see, I have my setting sprays now, and I wish this was more like on an angle so you guys could see a little bit better, or I wish I had a little bit of a better setup, but I want to show you guys this before any of these leak. I don't think they will, but just in case. So we'll start off way over here. I have the Pixie Rose Glow Mist and the regular Pixie Glow Mist. I very first tried this out, I think was it this year or last year? I think it was this year. And this is the one that I'm currently working on. I have lines on the other side. I don't know, you'll probably be able to see them, but I don't want to like spoil anything or whatever for my projects, because this is currently in a project. But I really like this, and I definitely loved it so much that I wanted to buy backups, and I wanted to try a couple kinds. If there's more than these 2, I would like to actually try the other ones as well. But I really like this. It kind of has like that like fresh oatmeal, like soft, like natural scent. And so I really like this as a like pre-spray, and then also like after to set your, like especially if you're using a lot of powder on your face, this makes it look a lot more like put together and not so powdery and dusty. So I really like that. I also have my MAC Fix Plus backups. So I got this at the holiday, I believe it was either the holiday or maybe it was at the Sephora sale. I can't remember now. It might be the Sephora sale in March. I have to go back to my notes and check. But it has a full size of the Fix Plus, the regular scent, as well as a mini of the regular scent as well. And I go through Fix Plus constantly. I use it daily, and so this is something that I always keep on hand. So these ones will be like staples for me. As you can see, I also have more Fix Plus. Normally I have like 6 of them on hand. So this one I use mostly for my brows. So I put it in my Patrick Ta brow spray, or I spray it on my soap that I use, the glycerin soap that I use for my eyebrows. And I like the natural one because it's just like an extra added something for the brow hairs, a little bit more hydration, and it's not water. And then also, like, it's probably got water in there, but it's not just straight up water, you know. And then I also have the coconut one, which I love. I'm obsessed with this. This is the one that I just spray on my face when I need a little bit more like hydration, or I just need a fresh like spray, make me feel like freshen up kind of thing. Like, it's just so nice and hydrating and cooling on the skin. I love this so much. So MAC Fix Plus is like one of my faves. And then I also have this from Saint. It's the Stay Spray, and this is the setting spray from Saint. I used to sell this. I just like sent my email in on Friday to let them know that I wasn't going to sell it anymore, unfortunately. This is no joke. If you want a good setting spray, this is absolutely no joke. It's so good. It's like $50 a bottle, but you get 100 mils. It's literally no joke. It's so good. And it has a really fine mister as well, but you have to press it all the way down or it squirts into your face. So you got to be really careful with that. I also have the Mario Badescu skincare facial spray with aloe, chamomile, and lavender. And this is a 236 ml bottle. I got this at the Sephora sale as well because I wanted to try this. I've never tried it, and I don't have anything with aloe or lavender, I don't believe. I don't think any of these have aloe in them. So, oh wait, no, this has argan oil. Okay, so yeah, this has aloe, chamomile, and lavender. And it's 236 mils, and I thought that was a really good deal because a lot of these are like 100 mils, so I know this is going to last a while. But I also know that it's this like the kind of similar thing to the Fix Plus and the Pixie Glow Mist, where you can put it on before and you can also put it on after. But this is like where it's at if you want to like set your makeup. So these are mostly like hydrating sprays and like setting spray kind of like genre, you know what I'm saying? All right. The next thing is the Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. This is a little one that I haven't pulled out yet, but I want to wait until I'm done another one or two. but it's just a little bottle of 15 mils, so you don't get a whole lot, but I think this one was a freebie with your order when you put in one of those coupon codes. Then I have my Revolution Pro Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray, and this is also 100 mils, so like bottles are deceiving, you know what I'm saying? It's like this one's 100 mils, this one's 100 mils. I guess they're kind of similar shape and size, but it can be deceiving a little bit. And then this is so this one's okay. I like it for drugstore. It's probably the most setting for drugstore that I've tried. And then this one's the Urban Decay D-Slick, which is probably one of my favorites. It's very resemblant to this one. So if you're looking for really good setting sprays that are not going to make your makeup move, these are the two that I would recommend. So that's all of them. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did have 14 at the end of 2020, and now I have 12. And I'm hoping to bring that number down a little bit, but in the new year, I will be replenishing this like crazy. So that number will always fluctuate high and low, but I always have lots of setting sprays on hand. Okay, so this looks a little bit messy and it's really bothering me, but I just want to kind of go over these because I have singles and face palettes, and I'm going to count them all together. So it really opened my eyes because I originally only had 8 singles of bronzer, and then when I counted all of my full sizes in there, it grew up to 25 by the end of 2020. So last year I had 25, like by the end of Christmas, or maybe not Christmas, but by the end of the year I had 25 bronzers. So the only face palette I have in here right now is this one because it's in my Shop My Stash and my project pan, so it just stays out. So I'm adding it in here, but everything else will be face palettes next. All right, so let's just start. I'll just go from up here. So this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and this is really, really old, but I definitely want to use as much as I can before I have to repurchase. And it still smells like the day I got it. It smells so good. It's such a nice, beautiful bronzer, easy to wear. Really enjoy that one. I know that's kind of like one of those in-betweens now because there's just so much selection that this one's kind of like not a hot commodity anymore, but they do have so many more colors now. Then we have the MAC one. This was from I think I got this in like 2016, 2015, something like that. And it's just a matte bronzer. It's nothing like to write home about. The payoff isn't the greatest, and it's kind of like flat a little bit, but I want to get more usage out of this and see what I can do because they're still at imprint, so I know I haven't used this to its full capacity. So I'm not familiar with a lot of my products because I like to use one until it's done. And when I have a collection this big, I just can't do stuff like that. So I really am going to have to change around my usage goals for my makeup, but this one is definitely one that I need to start using a little more. And I also have the Fenty Beauty Match Stick in Cinnamon, and it's just something that I got in a little kit. I can't remember what the other thing was. I think it was a bronzer, this bronzer. No, not this one. This one. I think I got these together. So this one is in Cinnamon, and it's like a cream bronzer, but it almost looks like a bronzery like highlight because it's so reflective. So I would probably have to put a bronzer over top of that, but it is something that I really want to get use out of, so that may have to go in maybe my Partners in Cream or something project. Then I have my Catrice Sungasm Luminizing Bronzer. I love luminizing bronzers. I think they're so beautiful. And this is definitely one that I have like really wanted because of the way that it shines in the pan. Like you can see the light reflecting off of it. And I think that's something that I'll really like. These may actually even go well together as well. So something I might play with. And then I have 2 Marc Jacobs full size. I just got these. I think Marc Jacobs is being discontinued at Sephora. This one is in the shade Tantric, and it's really pretty. And this, oops, it's not closing now. And then this one is in the shade Tantastic. And I'm just going to show you the mini because it's just easier. So this is Tantastic, and the same thing like in here, so you can see the size difference. I got this and I ended up really liking it, but these went on for such a good deal that it was pretty much almost the same price. Made me want to puke a little bit, but they were almost the same price, so I was a little bit peeved about that, but I really wanted those in my collection. And so, okay, this one's really good, but I think I'm gonna have to maybe put this in a project in the future too, because now I have a big one. And then I also have my NARS Stephen Klein face palette. This will be gone by the end of the year, no matter what happens. It's old. It's from 2015. And I'm going to show you because I'll just like try to hide my usage on my other one, but this is the Laguna bronzer that's inside the palette. It looks like that, and I do have a little dip going, so as much as I could get use out of that bronzer, that will make me so happy. I've already used up the what do you call that, the under eye brightening powder, and now I'm just working on the contour and the bronzer in this palette. So hopefully, like, this will definitely be gone no matter what by the end of the year, so that'll be one gone for sure. Then I also have my Natasha Denona Tan Bronze and Glow palette. This is the only one that I put because I guess I could have put this one as well, because this is also like a more creamy bronzer, but for me that's like a highlight when I'm really tan. So I put that normally as like a highlight on my face when I'm like super tan. I don't know if you can even really tell the reflection on there, but these two are resemblant for me of highlights, or this I could put as a blush topper when I want to look super bronze. So I don't really consider that one as a bronzer, so that's why I just did the powder one. And then I have this one I love. This is the Tarte cream bronzer in, it says breezy cream bronzer in Seychelles. I don't even know what that says, but I think it's called Seychelles. I don't even know, but it's really nice. It looks very red based, but it's beautiful in comparison as well to the contour shade in here. It's very red based, and I put that over top of this and it looks so good. So I really enjoy this, and I'm definitely gonna buy a full size of that. And then I have my Hourglass Diffused Bronze Light. It's the ambient lighting powder. And this little bastard cost me so much money for like piss all product. You can tell I'm annoyed when I start swearing. But literally this is like the littlest amount of product. And I'm so angry that I don't even really want to use it. And it's like, it just looks basic. It doesn't even, I don't know. It doesn't blow me away. I think it would look nice if I was maybe doing like my makeup for a wedding or a shower. It would look really pretty, but I'm super annoyed. This better be fantastic, but the next time if I wanted to buy something like this, I would just buy the full size, because it's almost the same price and you're getting like a tiny fraction, a corner size of the full size. So this is not worth it. Minis are not worth it in like this for Hourglass. But I did also get this. This was for free. This is the NARS Laguna bronzer. So once I'm done this one here, or as much as I'm done by the end of the year, I will have the Laguna bronzer in this size, and that's perfect for me. If I really love it still and I, you know, start using through some of this, then I may consider buying the full size down the road. But obviously I have so much that I really just don't need more right now. And then I have, this is new, I haven't even opened this yet. This is the NARS Laguna cream bronzer, because I want to try some more cream bronzers, and I wanted the Chanel one, but I think that's just too pricey. I'm not that bougie. But this is the NARS cream bronzer, and it just looks so pretty, and I really want to try that. I also want to try the e.l.f. one, but for some reason I can't get my hands on it anywhere where I live, so it's something that I really have to hunt for. And then I have the Fenty Beauty Shady Biz Mini, and this is really nice, but again, it's sort of basic looking, so we'll see. Like, it doesn't have any luminization or like luminosity, whatever you want to call it, and it's just sort of like a basic color for me, so I don't know. I'll try it out and I'll see. I also have the Bahama Mama bronzer. I really wanted to get this because this is like an OG YouTube. Like, when I started doing YouTube in 2015, this was already an OG. So I think this is a really nice bronzer, and I like the fact that it has like, it looks matte, but it looks almost like it could have some luminosity. It's hard for me to tell. Maybe it's a satin, I don't know, but it's really pretty and I like the color of it, and I think it would look like extra, like that beautiful like chocolatey bronze tan. I think that would look really nice. And the last one in the singles in this pile is the NYX Professional Makeup California Beam Bronzer. And I just got this again this year. A lot of this stuff is really new, but I wanted this because it is, again, one of those beautiful, like, luminous bronzers that looks just, oh, it makes your skin look so, like, beautiful and reflective and, like, oh, sun-kissed. So pretty. So these are those. I'm just going to go ahead and grab a couple more, and we'll go ahead and talk about some more of my face palettes and some other of my singles that I still haven't brought out yet. So I'm pretty sure that this is everything that I have. We have all of these now to go through. There's not that many, not as many as I thought there was going to be anyhow. So the first one is the MAC Holiday Palette. And this was, I don't even know when, but it says Shine Pretty Things Face, or MAC Shiny Pretty Things Face Palette in Fair. And it has this bronzer right here, and it's kind of like hardly pressed, like, or hard pressed, I guess. It doesn't really give payoff when you swatch it that much, but it does give payoff when you use a brush. And it's a luminizing one, so I really like that a lot. Then I also have this one. This is probably my favorite luminizing bronzer out of my whole collection, but it's so old that it's starting to smell, and the packaging is so bulky, and I think it might be time to repurchase, even though I know it's not the same, and I'll show you. This is the Xoxoxo Havana bronzer. This is the most perfect style of bronzer. Like, I love it so much. The baked formula, the look of the bronzer, it is absolutely stunning, like legit stunning. I don't even know if you guys can see that there. It's like the perfect bronzer. So I want to buy the newest Havana that I see at Sephora. It's totally different, looks completely different than this. But if it looks like that on the skin, then I'm totally fine with that, and then I can let this one go. But it just has this, like, you can tell it's going bad, and it's old, but I can't even help it. I love it so much. I gotta keep it. And then I have the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer right here, and this one's, again, very, very old. Like, some of these I haven't even used, and I've had this for years and years. It does look like the Dose of Colors palette. I see that all the time, and I think, oh, someone else has the Tarte palette, but it's always the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palette, and it just bothers me. They look exactly the same. But yeah, this is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer right here. And then I also have the Too Faced Little Black Book of Bronzers. And this one I've barely used as well. I need to start getting used. I honestly never wore bronzer for so long. And this year I'm like all about the bronzer. And so I have, how many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 alone in here. So that's like already enough bronzer. Like, I should have just used this up because there's already so much product in here, and there's so much array of like shade and tone. So, and there's like luminizing ones, satin ones, like matte ones. So I have everything I need here, but yet have I used it? No. So I think it's just the fact that this is not a convenient looking palette, and it's kind of awful to store, and so I just don't use it, and I really need to get used out of it. Then we have 3 that I haven't even opened. These are brand new. This is the Cheek Stars Reunion Tour. This I got at Shoppers Drug Mart. And I just saw that this was on sale at Sephora for half the price. I'm so pissed. But anyways, I can't return this one anyway because it wouldn't give me my money back. It's already been past like the 40 days or whatever. But this one has the Hoola bronzer in it, and these are all like the full sizes. And I prefer this over those weird looking box things that you can like only stick your brush in like whatever angle. I find those so difficult, and I would never want to have those in my collection. It's just so awkward. And this I like, although I do want to get the Rockstar one. So if I see something that has like a few different colors, maybe like the darker Hoola or a different highlighter or something like that, and the Rockstar one, then I would get that face palette. But I really, really liked the Hoola bronzer when I did have it previous. It's just I found the other packaging that I had was way too bulky. Then I also have the Cali Contour by Smashbox base palette, And this one is also, I haven't used it. When I don't use them, they stay in the packaging until I've actually used the product, so I know how many new and old things that I have. And this has one bronzer in it, which is the top one right here. So it's very, very light. Kind of reminds me of the Fenty one, honestly. But this is a full face palette. You're getting an under eye brightener, a contour, a bronzer, a blush, and a couple highlights. So like illuminators. So you're getting everything that you need in this palette, and it's so good for traveling. So when I can like go traveling again, this is probably something that I would take with me. Same thing with this, but I probably wouldn't travel with it because it's a lot more bulky than something so small like that one. And then this is the last one, and I don't even know why I bought this. I literally don't even know why. I was just like spending money. I was like, you know, make it rain. And this is the holiday collection face palette from Hourglass from 2020. And untouched, completely untouched, but it does have this bronzer in there, so I do have to count that against my bronzer total. But these are so small. These little palettes are so, these like tiny little squares, just way too small. So for bronzers, I had 25 at the end of 2020, and as of mid 2021, I have 30. Now for highlighters. This is a whole new day, and this is the only thing I'm probably going to do today, but let's do this quick. So we have the Becca highlighter in Vanilla Quartz, which is a mini. We have the Ofra Rodeo Drive, which is also a mini. We have the Pixie by Petra in Subtle Sunrise, and all of these are either in Project Pens or Shop My Stashes. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Super Stunner palette in 500, and it's also called It's Lit. And there's 3 really beautiful shades in there. There's also the Cali Kiss Smashbox highlighter and blush palette, and all 4 of these are considered highlighters, so I put them in as highlighters. I would consider this a bronzer topper and this a blush topper, but I put them in as highlighters because that's what they are listed as on the palette. And I have my Hourglass Ambient Light Trio. I don't love this. I don't know why there's such a hype over it. Again, it's just like a personal preference, and I need to do some cleaning out of this, but it's really not something I would repurchase. But there's 3 in there. And then I have the Natasha Denona Tan Bronze and Glow palette, and this one has 1, 2, 3. So these 2 creams I would consider as cream highlighters, and this one is a powder highlighter. So these are just some of the highlighters from my highlight drawer. I have them in these containers, so I'm not going to go through each and every single one, but I will let you know, like, these are mostly my MAC, and then I have some Milk makeup ones here. My loose ones are all in here, which I don't normally use a lot of loose highlighter, but I missed out on, I think it was called So Hollywood or Oh So Hollywood, something like that, from Anastasia, so I got this because I thought it would be pretty close in comparison. And then I have in here mostly my Becca ones, a couple of Laura Geller, and some Jouer and Anastasia Beverly Hills. And yeah, let's move on to the next set of containers. So this is the remainder of the drawer that I have my highlights in, my singles anyway. So of course there's some empties because some of them are in my Shop My Stash that I showed you guys in the beginning. These are mostly my Dior ones back here. So there's like the quads. And then this one's a single, and this one is the Mary Luminizer and Mars Melter. I have a couple Ofra highlighters. This one here is also Ofra Trio. A couple Makeup Forever. This one is an Anastasia Beverly Hills Starlight. There's a Bobbi Brown Shimmer, not Shimmer Brick, it's one of those, I'll show you. It's one of those like glowy looking flatter ones with the top thing on it, so it's like an imprint. Anyway, so this is the bronze one. There's also one that looks like that, but it is in pink glow. And then I also have my drugstore ones here, which is like e.l.f. This one was Mirabella, but it was a face powder that I used up, and I had put in the Revolution Raise the Bar. This is like one of my favorite drugstore highlighters. Had to repress it because the one that came like this had shattered, and this packaging sucks anyway. And then I have the Wet n Wild pinker one. I want a golder one. I really like gold highlights, but this pink one is, I don't know. I have tried it, but I don't remember trying it. Maybe I just watched it. I have some really old Revolution Vivid Bait highlighters, 2 of them. I also have the NYX High Glass. It's a gold one as well, and then the Master Chrome and Molten Glow. So those are all the highlighters in the highlight drawer. Now we'll go to more of the like face palettes. So this one is the Laura Mercier. It's the Laura Mercier Fall in Love Face Illuminator Collection, and there's 4 different colors in here. I did actually own this one, which I believe is Indiscretion. And then she came out with the 4 palette, and so there's 4 different shades in here, this one being like way too deep for me. And I don't have very many of those illuminators that are actually too deep for my skin. So I'm okay with this one, but I got rid of one of the MAC ones, so my number hopefully should come down, but I can't remember if I got anything new. So yeah, I have this one. So there's 4 anyways in this quad. Then I have the Revolution Pro Illuminate. There's no other name on here. It just says Pro Illuminate by Makeup Revolution. Then there's the ingredients. So I just call it the Pro Illuminate. And this one is super, super old, but it's super pretty. It's very blinding. I love it. For drugstore, that's really, really good quality. Then I have the Smashbox, and I think it's with Casey Holmes. I don't remember her name, but I've been sitting here trying to remember, and of course I could just Google it, but I haven't. But anyway, it's the Smashbox Spotlight palette in Pearl, and it says turn it on, crank it up, and blow a fuse pearl, and there's 3 different shades in here. I literally have like never used this, and I hear pretty good things about it, so it might go into a future project, maybe like 10 uses or something. And then I also have this one from Tarte. And this one says, hello, this one says Skin Twinkle and Lighting Palette, and it's got 3 different ones. The middle one could really be like a setting powder. It doesn't really have an luminosity to it, but I put it with the highlighters this year because it's just super easy for me instead of like going into each individual one. But it is like, if you see here, it's way more of like a setting powder than it is an illuminator. And there is another palette like this that has, I believe it's 4 shades in it. Ooh, that's squeaky. But I would like to get it, but I have obviously way too many highlighters. So, and this is the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Trio, and I'm considering decluttering this one because I have a full size of Champagne Pop. Pearl is just like way too light for me. It's really nice and it's really decent like on my winter skin, but it's just way too light. And then this one, of course, I'll never use. So yeah, I have something for everybody in there, but just not going to use it. And then there's this one, which is incredibly similar to that other one. And this one is the Milani Rose Glow palette. And of course, this is the same, really like blinding, but this one has a bit of a goldish undertone to it. So I prefer this one over the pearl one, and then also the pearl one is like kind of old and powdery. And then there's the like golder one, and then of course the rose gold one, which isn't, it's not as highlighty, and it's very, very deep. So I don't know. I would never use those ones because they're just far too deep for my skin tone. But that is the first section of face palettes. I have the Soph X Revolution palette. Has 8 of them in there. I have the Revolution Makeup Vintage Lace palette, which has 4. I have the MAC Holiday palette. I think this is 2018, and there's a highlight in here, which is really pretty, called String Lights. Then I have 3 from the 2020 Holiday palette from MAC. And then I also have these 2 Hyper Real Glow palettes. This is Flash and Awe, and this one is, oh gosh, I can't remember now. Get It Glowing, I believe. And there's 3 in each of these. And I also have the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, and this has 1 here, and I'm counting both of those as highlights as well, so 3 in there as well. And next up is ABH face palettes. So I'm not going to go ahead and go through every single one individually, like each single highlighter, but I have the Aurora, and I would love to get the other one. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I want to get the other one that's like this, even though I rarely use these. And then the Nicole Guerrero. This one is the one from way back when that was discontinued, and then they brought it back, and it's really pretty. It's very glittery though. And then I have the the Gleam kit, the That Glow kit, and the Sun Dipped kit. And then the newest one I wanted to get, I think it was the Sugar kit or something like that, and I didn't get it because it has duplicates of the other palettes in there. So yeah, these have 6, so that's 12, and then these ones have 4 each, which is 12, which is 24 highlighters just right here. Alright, this is the final little set of face palettes that have highlighters in it. Thank God. I'm like so happy I'm finally there. Okay, so Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush. This has 4 of them in it. The cream says Diamond, the one that says Glow, and then also this one and this one I'm counting as highlights. And I have the Cheek Stars Reunion Tour. I'm not going to open it. It's just Cookie, and you can see on the back cookies right here. There's just the one highlighter in there. Then we have the Hourglass Ambient palette from Holiday. I think this is 2020. And I'm going to count, of course, the top 3. I think all 3 of those, if I'm not mistaken, are in my Ambient little trio palette from a couple years ago. So I don't know why I bought this. I really don't know why I bought this. But I have it, and apparently I'm going to try to use it. So there's another 3. We also have the Cali Contour from Smashbox, and there's Shimmer Highlight and Shimmer Bronze Highlight. This is like highlighting under eye powder. These are like illuminators. So there's 2 in here. And the last 2 are my Tarteist Contour palette, and it's just this middle shade. It doesn't have a number, like this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This doesn't have a number, but it is an illuminating powder, and it's just like the most subtlest powder. Like it's very white and reflective, and it's not in a good way reflective, so I don't normally use that one, but it's in here until I get rid of this palette. And then the last one is the Tarte Color Wheel palette. This is mostly blushes, but there's also Idol and Crafty, so there's 2 in here. And that is all of my highlighters. Oh my gosh, that took so long to go through. So at the end of 2020 I had 124 highlighters. That is ridiculous, but it is more ridiculous, and I have 148. So it is now time to bust through a bunch, possibly consider decluttering. And I have decluttered, oh my gosh, probably a good up to almost 10 highlights already. So yeah, I'm really proud of the highlight collection that I have right now, but it's definitely extreme. So the next section is this little this little one item, which is very different from the last. This is my MAC Prep and Prime, which is a lip base or a lip primer, and this is the only one that I have in my entire collection. Alright, kind of an awkward position. You can see the drawer here that I have all my stuff. I do want to show you, I have one more lip liner right here. But I'm not taking it out because it kind of separates where my lip liners and my lip glosses go, so I have to keep it in there. And then these 4 are in my either Shop My Stash or my project pans, or just I want to like use them up. So I'm going to put those away. So there's 4 here. I also have all of these, which are all like NYX and MAC. There's just so many. It's ridiculous. In the end of 2020 I had 31, and now I have a total of 28, and I'm hoping to use at least like 2 or 3 more by the end of the year. I'm really going to bring my lip collection down. My lip, like bullet lipsticks and lip liners, I want to see substantial movement, and I did bring in a lot of lip gloss, which I didn't have any, I don't think, previously, just lip balms. So that's going to be something to discuss shortly. But yeah, I had 31 and now I have 28 at the middle of 2021. These are all of my liquid lipsticks. I had 22 at the end of 2020. I decluttered a few and I brought in the Ofra ones at the end of 2020. And now I only have 20 liquid lipsticks. So that's still too many. But I do like the colors. I've gone through them. I've worn them. like even just swatched them, and I feel very comfortable with what I have here. But as time goes on, I'm going to have to probably declutter a few and repurchase because of the dating and the fact that it's a cream product, but I'm happy with my collection so far. Alright, so here are all of my like bullet type lipsticks. So obviously most of them are MAC all the way like back here. These ones here are mostly MAC except for this green one. This one is KVD. And then I have this one from NARS that I brought in this year. I got it free. And then I have a couple up here, which is these four, and then this one from NARS as well. And I don't think I have any anywhere else. So last year at 2020, I ended the year with 63, and currently, even bringing a couple in, I have 59, so it's slowly going down. I know I decluttered one, and I think I used up 4 already, so decluttering and like not tallying, I think that one was a relatively new one. I think that my numbers are pretty darn accurate, and I'm really excited that the number is going down and not going up, even though I did bring in this Plan 9 one, and this one I brought in as well. This one was a free gift, and I brought in 3 free ones from MAC, so anything that was pretty much free except for Plan 9 cost me, I want to say $9. It was like $9 or $13, something like that. And so yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good on lipsticks so far. So this is my lip gloss and lip balm collection. Here we have a little Boisson Squalane and Rose Vegan Lip Balm. It's very glaring, I'm so sorry. It's like super glaring. So that was just a sample I got with an order. And then I have my Tower 28 one, like lip glosses that I haven't opened yet, as well as my sugar bombs. You guys can tell, like, I really like these. I usually buy the holiday kits so that I always have a backup, and I like the smaller ones because I can throw them in my purse and leave one at work and leave one beside my bed, whatever I want to do. I also have this little mini from Buxom. Man, this is glaring. Sorry about the glare on this stuff, you guys. And then I also have like my Marc Jacobs, 2 of them here, and one of the Marc Jacobs ones way back here. And then I have all of these small like mini Pat McGrath ones, and my Cosa Sport that came in a little pack from Sephora. I also have my Too Faced lip injections. I have 3 of those. One of them from Maybelline, which honestly, this packaging is like really beautiful, and I want to pick up a couple more of these, and I just have to remember which number I have. I think it is Moon. Yeah, 003 Moon. So I'd like to pick up a couple more of these. I really like the way that these gloss containers are. It's really pretty, and it's easy to stand up and store. And then I also have these little ones from Catrice, speaking of standing up and storing. So I have that one and that one from Catrice, and then I have these ones from, oh, I'm dropping everything now. These ones from e.l.f., the lip plumping ones from e.l.f. So I just need to figure out a better storing solution. So I had 12 at the end of 2020, and I currently have 30 lip glosses and lip balms in my collection. Alright, this is my collection for my liquid eyeshadows. So I have a couple from Milani, these 2, and also this one here that is currently in a project pan. I have a few from Stila. There's this pink one, it's called Sunset Cove. I have Diamond Dust and Wanderlust, and I have 2 from e.l.f. One is in the shade Little Dipper, which is a pinker version. Man, this light is just glaring. Sorry about that. And Little Dipper, I think this one's called. No, this one's Disco Queen. The other one's Little Dipper. And that one's in a project. And then I have my Natasha Denona Dragonfly, which was just taken out of a project. And the last one is MAC, what is it called? Beam Time. So really beautiful. Oh yeah, and I also have this One Size Everything and More, which is a really long one. Hard to store, but it's very pretty. So I had 10 at the end of 2020 and I currently have 11. So obviously there's like nothing here right now, but I wanted to make mention that I do have quite a few single eyeshadows. For example, like some of my Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and I had totaled everything that I considered an eyeshadow single without, like, for example, my MAC singles I put in palettes. Those ones I just consider palettes. And in all honesty, I will be still counting my single eyeshadow palettes as individual palettes. So this single eyeshadow category is just a numbers thing. So I didn't catch how many I had in 2020 because I just counted them as palettes, but now currently I have 316 total single eyeshadows. That will definitely adjust by the end of the year because I will have a few different things I want to declutter, like for example, again, some of these single eyeshadows from Makeup Geek and things. There's just some that are just not cutting it, and I have other eyeshadows in my collection that I know perform better, so I will be adjusting those. But yeah, now we'll go on to eyeshadow pigments. Alright, so here are all of my pigments. These ones over here are more like the older ones. So I have like my Makeup Forever one, which I've decluttered one or two of those already. And then I have like this random red colored MAC one, which looks really pretty, so I need to get on using that. Then I have these super old Makeup Geek ones that like really don't have really nice packaging at all. You can see like some of them don't even close all the way. And then this also is the Makeup Geek hologram one, which used to look like this, but it was breaking so badly that I put it in new containers, and now these containers are breaking like super badly. These ones are not opened and closed, but every time I open and close this one, it shatters. So I think I'm gonna throw this one out and start use one of these ones. This isn't a project, but I mean, there's nothing I can do. I'm not gonna put like shards of plastic on my eye, so this one's just gonna go in the garbage right now. And then I still have this, which is like considered one, so that's hologram. So I have 4 Makeup Geek ones, a bunch of like MAC ones from like the holiday collection, so this little bundle here, and I have obviously decluttered quite a few. I think there was like 6 or so per pack, and then I've decluttered like 4 of this, the one with the stripes on the lid, and I think I have all of the ones like this. Then there's a Too Faced one, an Inglot one, and then the rest are like Makeup a Murder, which is a really cool brand. I love their aesthetic. I think it's super fun. And so I have 19 at the end of 2020, and at the middle of 2021 I have 29 eyeshadow pigments. So we are now at my biggest inventory section, and that's my eyeshadow palettes. So we're starting off with my small drawer. This is the first little compact, and so I have mostly my little Huda ones in here, with the exception of the ones that are in my Shop My Stash and my project pans, and then of course my little MAC times 9s, but most of these are the like either Mauve Obsessions, Electric Obsessions, Coral, Topaz, Ruby, whatever, Amethyst Obsessions. Then I have in the back here my Viseart Petite Pro 2, which is unopened, still has the packaging on it, and whichever ones have like their original pack on it means I have not used the palette yet. So I have a couple like that in here, but for the most part everything in here is used. So here we have quite a few. This one is in my Shop My Stash, so you've seen the other one just before this in my drawer. I do need to wipe this off. Some of these I just need to take a little cloth to, because I hate fingerprints all over everything. Anyway, that's my Neon Huda one. This is my Tiny Pans Project Pan palette for the year of 2021, so this one will hopefully be out of my collection by the end of the year. And this is the Break the Rules palette by It's Belle Cosmetics. I'll just show you the inside. I don't want to go into super crazy detail because I can do that down the road or whatever on a like a collection thing. My Sweet Pinks by Juvia's, my Berries by Juvia's, my Natasha Denona Bronze, my Bright Vibes Neon palette by Violet Voss, and my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. I freaking love this eyeshadow palette, even though it's super basic. And then, speaking of basic, I have a couple of MAC ones. This one here is also a MAC palette. This was from a holiday collection a few years ago. I love this as well. Again, very basic. I have my single e.l.f. Eyeshadow palette, my Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. These are all singles, so those are already counted in my singles total. So yeah, these are the next section of eyeshadow palette. Alright, so now I'm going to go drawer by drawer instead of pulling everything out. So of course this is my massive palette from Give Me Glow. It's huge. It's so massive, but I love it. I also have a couple of them here. I have some in this drawer, and I have some down in this drawer, and then of course the couple that I showed you in there. So now let's go and look at this bottom drawer here. I'll just bring my light over so it's a little bit better for you guys to see. So these are my larger palettes, so anything that's too tall to fit in my Alex 9 drawers. So this is stuff that I can stand up and still kind of see what I'm looking at, except for of course way in the back we have a couple 39 pan Morphe palettes and some of the other ones that don't really fit in sideways this way. I have actually decluttered this drawer, and I will be posting that video soon. So had I not done that, I probably would have had maybe another 5 or so palettes, and then I also decluttered a couple throughout the year. So my numbers, yeah, you'll see. It's just like I've decluttered, but wow, I must have brought in. But anyhow, so this is the larger drawers. I have 3 drawers in my Alex 9 drawers dedicated to eyeshadow palettes. I keep them really, really organized so they're not all full. You'll see there's a lot of room actually to maneuver these things around. So these are my most used palettes up here, and ones that I'm kind of collecting-ish. So these are all of my MAC ones all the way to here. These are all MAC, anything in black. And then these 2 are my Violet Voss, and the rest are my Huda. And then I have all my Natasha Denona ones that are the $88 ones, or $80 palettes in Canadian. Then I have Artist Couture, a bunch of Melt, some Pat McGrath, and then a Makeup of Murder. Down here I have my Saint products, Adept, Plain Jane and Anhydrous, some Give Me Glow, Glamlight, Kaleidos, singles from Adept. I have some Terra Moons, I have some Makeup Geek in here, and my Inglot singles. Here's my JD Glow singles, and then this is my Makeup of Murder Crime Scene palette, Glamlight Ice Cream Dream, and then down here I have my Cleona shadows. And this last one here is again like my older palettes that I still enjoy. So I have like Stila, Urban Decay, Tarte, Makeup Geek, Lorac, Patrick Star One Size. I have some drugstore ones here, Morphe, Too Faced, and Juvia's Place. Way in the back here, Juvia's Place. So those are all of my eyeshadows. For eyeshadow palettes, I started the year off, or ended 2020 off, with 116 eyeshadow palettes. I decluttered a whole bunch, but I did bring some in. Obviously, I didn't think I brought in this many, but I think this is mostly my singles, because I count my singles as individual palettes, and I definitely put them in smaller ones so that it's easier to curate for me down the road. Some of them are in bigger ones, but like obviously like this one here is like a way bigger one, but for the most part they're in a little bit smaller ones. But anyhow, I currently have 136 eyeshadow palettes, so that definitely went up a little bit, and I'm totally okay with that, because currently I'm liking everything, and I've been through a declutter already, so I'm really happy with that. Now on to gel, cream, and hydroliners. I'm hoping I have everything that I think is related. I pretty much try to keep everything really organized and my other stuff in my backups. And I think this is everything that I have for gel liners right now. So let's just go ahead and look at this. I actually have one item that's in my backups that I didn't take out because it's way in the bottom, crammed in there, and I just don't want to take it all out. So there is one item missing from here, but it is in my totals. So I have all of these Suva Beauty individual hydroliners, which are bomb. They are so good, and they are UV light reflective, every single one of these, as well as this tag one that I got from Amazon. This is not too bad, actually. Comparable quality, but I really dislike the long skinny, like you have to really work into the center, and it's just annoying because you can tell that it's kind of like bleeding into each other. Really annoying. I really prefer the Suva Beauty packaging, especially these little palettes are so good. You can tell I really enjoy using these, and I've used, oh my gosh, all of these ones like so many times. They're really great. Some of them kind of have a smell of like fish almost to them. It's really strange, but it really doesn't deter me from using them. They're really good. This one is my Makeup Geek single or like gel liner from a long time ago in the shade Poison. It's super old. This one as well is old. It's a Wet n Wild Fergie gel liner, and it's really pulling away, but it's creamy AF. Like, it's super good still, and I used it today actually, so hopefully I can continue to use this. It's definitely way past 6 months. It's probably like 6 years. It's so bad, I know, but I still use it because I don't know, I still use it. Anyhow, these are all of my liners. I had 13 at the end of 2020, and I currently have 15. Alright, I hope you guys can see everything here. There we go, that's better. I had originally 17 eyeliners. Now these are like eyeliner pencils and liquid eyeliners. I just lumped them all into one because it's just the same thing except for, you know, one is a pencil and one is a liquid. So I put those all in the same, and I currently have 21, so I went up by 4. Alright, so for my loose and liquid glitters, so most of it is like from here over, and I did actually find some more loose pigments in here. So there was 4, so I added that to my other total, which I believe brought me up to 33, if I'm not mistaken. And so I did want to make mention that I'm going to be adding my diamond flakes as my what do you call that, loose glitter as well, because it technically does the same thing. It's just sort of like gold flakes, but it's not gold. They're other colors, so it's basically the same idea, but I'm going to consider it as loose glitter. And then I also have a couple of liquid glitters here from JD Glow, so I'm going to throw those in there as well. I was at 17 loose glitters, and with a couple of these, adding these in and the liquid ones, I'm up to 21. These are my brow products. It is definitely not unreasonable. I bought all 3 of these brow products this year. So Patrick Ta Clear, Patrick Ta Brown, and my Anastasia Brow Freeze. I really like the Brow Freeze. Not a huge fan of the Patrick Ta Brow Wax. Yeah, just not a fan. But anyhow, I have those 2 and this brow wax. And then I also have a couple of brow pencils from Sephora. I have a backup of an Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown. The reason I have a backup is because I'm currently working on my MAC Fluid Line Deep Dark Brunette color. And this is in a project right now, and I'm trying to use this up by the end of the year. So hopefully I will do that sooner, and then I can start this one this year. And then I have my Saint Brow Wax, which I love. I'm using it today, and my brows are really good and on point. It's about $20. These are really, really good. Honestly, I really enjoy these, and your brows will really stick and look super laminated. It's so awesome. I really enjoy these. So I also have a glycerin soap that is not imaged here. It's just in a big pink plastic tub, and it's put away right now because I'm trying to focus on some of these higher higher end ones because I would like to bring my value up by the end of the year for my empties. I'm really working super hard on working on some of the products that I don't normally finish throughout the year, and I would like to at least finish one of these brow products, and possibly maybe this one. I don't know. We'll see how we'll see how if I do my brows like every single day. But last year at the end of 2020 I had 9, and the mid of 2020, so end of June of 2021, I have 10, and that's including the soap. So here is 9, and then 10 is including the soap. So I have all my mascaras here. I had, let's see, 9 at the end of 2020. I currently have 14 mascaras total here, minis and full size, and I used to have 9, so I have increased, but I go through mascara like crazy. I'm currently using all 3 of those ones standing up in the back. Those ones are the ones I have now, and I just completed one, so that'll be in my makeup empties. Otherwise I would have had 15 if I hadn't completed that. These are my eyeshadow primers and glitter glue bases. All of these are so much fun to use. This one I haven't used yet, which is the Gimme Glow. I'm really excited to try that one, but I believe I've tried everything else. So I used to have 4 at the end of 2020, and now I currently have 7. So this is my last and final section, which are my perfumes and body sprays. I'm so glad I made it to my last. I'm sure you guys could tell, like, from my eyeshadows, I was like kind of bitter by the time I got to the end of that. It took me forever. And so I was just kind of like, and I like my eyeshadows and just deal with it. But now I'm at the very last category, and I'm so excited. And it's like 10:45 at night, and I'm tired, and I just want to wash my face, take my makeup off and whatever, and I finally can do it now because I'm at my very last category. So I definitely have an array of stuff here, but I really plan on getting a bunch of these out by the end of the year if I can. I did have 12 at the end of 2020, and I now have 11. One of them is not here because it's in the bathroom, which I keep it in there because if I don't put it in there, I'm not going to use it at all. So that is the peach one. It's a Bath and Body Works spray, just like this one. It says this one's Bali Black Coconut Sands, but that one is peach, and so that one should be here as well. It's in a project pan right now, but like I said, I keep it in there. I also have this Katy Perry Meow, which is in a project right now, and I really want to get this finished by the end of the year. But I also have a backup as well, and this really needs to go as well. Like, I am not done with the scent, but like once I'm done this for the year, I'm gonna wait until next year to start that one. I love this Nicki Minaj one, but I don't want to touch it until I'm done a couple of my other ones. This one, that's the Hawaii Passion Fruit Kiss from Bath and Body Works. I can probably finish that if I really set my mind to it. This is the KVD Sinner. I really like this, but again, it's more of like a fall winter scent. This one is so beautiful. This is the Rihanna one. I can't remember what these are called, but I have 2, and this one is another one that I could really try and get finished if I really put my mind to it, maybe in like the fall time. I also have this Scandalous from Victoria's Secret, and then also my JLo Glow, which is like an old school scent for me, and I don't know why, like I'm just not using it and I need to use it. So I really need to get through these, and I'm hoping to get through at least 2 to 4 by the end of the year. That's really big goals for me because I don't go anywhere to wear perfume that much, but 2 to 4 by the end of the year. So I know the peach one will be gone, whether it's gone or not. I hate it. I don't want it. I'm just trying to use what I can, and then I need it gone. And then I'm also working on this one, which is really easy for me to wear, and I'm also working on this in a project, but I'm not trying to complete this. I just want to get as much use as I can. If I complete it, great, but if not, whatever. So I'm definitely down 1 in this collection, and I'm really hoping to bring that down even more. And then next year I want to try and use up even more of it, but I don't want to buy or bring anything in until my collection almost depletes, and then I can start fresh and see what I like at that point. I just don't want to bring something in and then later figure out like I have too much. I also don't like these scents anymore. So that's pretty much it. That's everything, you guys. I am completely done. I really hope you guys stayed until the end. If you did, thank you so very much. That means the world to me. I definitely will do another year-end inventory, but I'll keep it a little bit quainter, possibly just totals and not pictures or video. So just let me know what you guys want to see, if you actually want to see just a picture thrown in with me talking, or if you want to see my actual products like this. Just let me know what you guys prefer, and I'll try and you know, meet the masses. But this is so much work. Anyone who does these, I give you guys so much credit, because this is no joke. Days and days worth of work, unless you have time to sit and dedicate and you have room to do this. Like, I do not. This is my little tiny space that I have, like my tiny little desk. My vanity is so small, and this is kind of what I can do. So thank you guys so much for, you know, just bearing with me throughout this whole thing, and for watching. And yeah, I'll bring you another update soon, and bring you my empties as well for the half-year mark. So thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. All right, I'm doing this at a different angle, and I apologize for the change up, but I just don't really have the space, so please work with me on this. I really appreciate your cooperation, because this is probably the best I'm gonna get, and I'm so sorry about the change. But let's go ahead and get into my contour powders now. So basically I wanted to do them in parts, because currently I have so many, and I have to go through a bunch of different palettes, like face palettes and stuff for them. These are more like the smaller ones, or the ones that I'm currently using. And then I have to go through my drawer and go through every single individual contour powder that I have and bring those face palettes out. So we'll just do these smaller ones first, and then I'll give you the totals. Currently at the end of 2020, I had 43. So let's go ahead and see what I have here. Currently I'm working on this Stephen Klein one. I'm not going to show you, because I'm working on it in a project, and I want to make sure that I keep my progress. Actually, you know what? It's fine. I'll show you. It's not the end of the world. This is the one right here, and I want to try and complete that by the end of the year for sure. So this is the contour shade. I wasn't really wanting to show anybody, because I was really excited about my progress, but now you know, and it kind of ruins my, like, you know, next update kind of thing, because it's coming up close. And then I also have this one that I'm working on. I'm actually working on the under eye brightener, but I haven't really made any progress with that, because I'm working on like another one as well. So this one doesn't really get much use. But this is the contour shade that I have in the Caramel Toffee palette from Wet n Wild. And so this is one of the Wet n Wild palettes that I have. Those are the two that I'm currently having in my like Shop My Stash / Project Pan situation. This is the other Wet n Wild one that I have, which is Dolce de Leche, and I like the under eye powder that's more like yellow base, and I feel like the other one is a little more ashy, and I wish this one and the other one were combined, because this is just too warm for me under, like, on my contour, but I make them work anyways. So I have this one, which is unopened. And then I also have this MAC one, which is like really old, and it's when I first really started getting into contouring. And again, it looks like basically unused. It's very old, so this will probably be something that I want to work on in the future. I have a couple things I really want to work on, but I just want my products to look loved and used, and to get familiar with my stuff. So I do have a plan next year for my panning process, or my like use process. So this is one that's going to get that love. This is in the shade Accentuate and Sculpt. And then I also have, this is my most or the oldest one, I guess I should say, in the small format. I have the Shade and Light contour palette in medium duo, and it's not open because I haven't used it yet. And it's like the newer packaging where you can, I think this, yeah, this is the ones that you can switch them out. But it was cheaper for me to buy these instead of buying the refills. So I have the light or the medium version, and this one has Lyric and Shadow Play. And I'll open this when I need to, but I think I might actually put this in my backup for now, and I'll explain why in a short minute. And then I also bought two other ones because they went on for $15 for each, which is like way cheaper than you're ever going to get for buying the inserts, though they're like $13 or something per insert or more. So $15 for one of these is ridiculously cheap. So I have another one in medium, so that's two of them. And then I also got one in the light duo, and it looks like that, just much lighter. So I'll put those away in my backups actually, like I have a backup drawer for that. And then I also have the Patrick Ta, or hello, the Patrick Ta for face, the She Sculpted, and it looks like that. So it's the cream part, not so much the bronzer part. It's more like the cream contour part that I'm counting here. And then also the Catrice Prime and Fine Professional Contouring Palette. And it's the shade here. I don't know if they have two different shades, but it says Ashy Radiance. So this is the one that I use as contour. So that's the first part of the contour items. Alright, so these are the face palettes that I have. I think I've gone through everything. I'm like very confident that I've gone through everything in my collection. And so these are the face palettes that I have. So we'll start off with the Tarte one, which is the Tarteist Contour Palette. This is quite old. I don't even know if the date was on here, but this was really old. I've loved the crap out of this, honestly. It's probably one of my more used and loved looking palettes, and I definitely love this, and I really love this. Sometimes I combine those, but this one and this one get like the most love. The blush in here is really pretty, and I have used this in the summertime and stuff, but mostly this is the one that gets used. And I don't really love this highlighter. It's just kind of like a really like thin, sheer, almost non-existent, kind of blows away on your skin kind of highlighter. So this and this are the contour shades in here that I'm counting. So there's 2 in here, and I really love this, but I would like to complete this palette at some point because I really enjoy it, and I don't want it to just sit here because I enjoy it so much. Then we have the Cali Contour. This one is in the packaging still because I haven't used it yet. It's from Smashbox, and the one in here for contour shades is, it's just called Contour, and it's right here. And this is a really nice palette, and it's something that I think I would take if I went traveling, but I haven't used this one yet. But that is the one in this face palette. And then we have the MAC, what is this called? Studio Fix Sculpt and Shape Contour Palette, and it's just in the light medium shade, and it has 3 in here. I'm gonna just keep this. I know this might glare a little bit, but I want to keep these names on here so you guys can see them. I apologize for the glare, but it has Taupe, Sculpt, and Bone Beige. I believe I have two or three. I think this was in the little mini compact combined with that other setting under eye powder, and I also have a single coming up. I'll show you in a second. So I definitely have a lot of MAC Sculpt for sure. Next is my Lorac Pro Contour Palette. This has definitely collected some fingerprints and dust over the years for sure. Something I really enjoyed using, and I didn't use a lot because I didn't think I could get it in Canada, and now I know I can. But I have so much contour powder that I clearly don't need to buy anymore. But I have the light, the deep, and the medium, so there are 3. Next in my collection, I have the Park Avenue Princess from Tarte. This is a new one to my collection, and I bought this because I like the Tarteist Pro palette so much, and I wanted to make sure that I had those shades again. So I got this one, and I actually wish I picked up multiple, but they were always out of stock. But this has 4 contour shades in it, as you can see here: Carrot, Princess Cut, Angle, and Crown. So it has 4, and again, I apologize for all the glare. And we also have, again, MAC Sculpt. It's this one right here. And this one I got as a single when I went to Florida, and I went to the MAC store, and I met Patrick Starr there. and he was working there at the time, and I ended up working with someone else, although I was just like too shy about asking to have him help me when someone else already helped me. I'm kind of like a loyal person, so if someone helps me first, I'm not like, oh, can I go to them? I don't do that. I just stick with the same person and regret it later. But anyway, I liked her too. But yeah, this is the Sculpt one that I just absolutely love. It's got the exact perfect amount of cool undertone to it that looks so good on the skin. So I have that one as well. And the last one I have is the Old School Shade and Light Original from Kat Von D. And this also has 3 shades in it. It has, now let's see, Sombre, Shadow Play, and Subconscious. So Sombre, Shadow Play, and Subconscious. So it has everything you need in here, and I have this, and I need to really get some use out of all these old things. So this is really strange, and I don't know if it was just something that I maybe miscalculated like in December, or maybe I'm really missing something, but I only have 26 contour powders, so I'm not sure where I had 43 in December, because I haven't really decluttered any that I can think of. But I'm also not counting my cream contours from Saint, so I can't remember if I counted those in my December one, because I did get quite a few in my kit. I no longer sell Saint, I just stopped selling them, but are selling their products. But yeah, I only have 26 now, which is great. I'm going to keep the numbers as they are, because I really can't go back and figure that out. So I have 26 to work through, which is a lot. Alright, so now we're going to do highlight colors, so like brightening shades under the eyes, and highlights, which I call highlights. Usually highlighters are actually illuminators, but you know the drill. I'm just calling it highlight. So the first thing, I've basically just shown you guys most of these things, so I'm not going to go into super great detail, but the first one is the Catrice. This is just the brightening shade of the contour and brightening palette, so just a little duo. So that's the first one. And then we have the MAC Duo, which has the peachier brightening shade in here, which I'm not a huge fan of the peach color because I'm more olivey toned. So I don't even know if I'm really going to use that. It may be a declutter, but I really want to use this Sculpt shade first. So we'll see how that goes. But that is another one. And then I also have the, again, Wet n Wild Contour Color Icon Contouring Palette with the highlight of Caramel Toffee. So there's that one. And I also have the Dolce de Leche Virgin, the Dolce de Leche version, this side. You know it's been a long day when you start talking virgins. Okay, so then I have the Cali Contour palette from Smashbox. I'm not even going to open this, but it is this one on the back here, the highlight shade. This is not even used yet, so it's just the one shade in here. So that is it for that one. And then I have the Hourglass one, which I haven't shown you guys yet. I'm going to try not to blind you or try and get on screen again. But I'm just going to consider these two right here. They're like setting powders, like finishing powder kind of things, but I'm just going to consider these under eye brighteners because that's what I would probably end up using them for. So there's two there. And then the last one in this pile is the Tarteist Contour palette, and this one has the two, this one here and this one here. So those are two. And I also have the Studio Fix MAC palette, which also, which also has three. And again, I'm gonna keep this in here, but it has Emphasize, Cream, and Accentuate. And again, I have Accentuate in that little duo, so maybe that's something that I'll let go. I'm not sure. But I also have the Lorac Pro Contour palette, and again, this also has three in there, which is Beige Highlight, Yellow Highlight, and Shimmer Highlight. This one I'm gonna call it obviously like a highlight, which is like an illuminator because it does give you a little bit of a luminosity. These two are more like setting under the eye, so these two I will count. And the last two that I can come up with, I believe, is the Kat Von D, what is this called again? Shade and Light, right? Yeah, Shade and Light face palette. And there is three of them here. And they are, what is that one called? Lucid, Lyric, and Levitation. So Lucid, Lyric, and Levitation. I'm not bringing out my other ones because I just put them away and I totally forgot. But I have the 2 of the medium shade and 1 extra of the light shade. So I will add those in as well. And then in the Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette, I have Halo and Enhance. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total in this little pile here. So for the highlight and brightener shades, I was at 15 at the end of 2020, and I am now at 20 in 2021 in mid-year. So I actually have used up one of them already, but I used it up before I did my mid-year inventory, and so I probably would have been at 21 had I not completed that one. So I'm excited about the fact that I have completed at least one under eye powder, and that was in my Stephen Klein and NARS face palette for my face palette for like Pan That Face palette for 2021. So I finished that rather early on, and now I'm trying to use up other ones, but I'm trying to use up I think a couple of them at the same time, which is, it's a lot. So I also have this one here, which I consider as a foundation powder, but it is one of the ones that I'm using as an under eye brightener. But that's the one that's going to take me a while because you don't need a lot of MAC powders. They last so long and they're so good. But anyhow, I was at 15 and now I'm at 20, so I got some major work to do on my collection. So this is my blush collection, at least some of it. I do have quite a bit more that I have to bring out, and most of them are in face palettes. So these are mostly my singles. I'm gonna say like 98% are MAC Cosmetics because I was just under the impression that they had the best and only best formula. I haven't really tried many other brands, but I knew their products worked, and so I went ham and just tried to get everything I could. These ones are more like special collections. This is a NARS cream bronzer, so don't mind that. But everything else is blush. The last 2 over here are my Urban Decay blushes, and I have one in Bittersweet, which is the purple blush, and one in Bang, which is the like really red blush. Everything else is MAC. I'm not going to go into detail and like take them all out like I have been really doing for everything because this is already so long, but I want to show you guys the first portion of my blushes, and then we're going to go ahead and look at the face palette portion of my blushes. Alright, we'll continue with this little pile and then I'll go into probably the last pile. This is my Ilia multi-stick, and it's this really pretty like nude, I don't even know how to explain it, but I would call it like a nude rose color kind of. Yeah, it's really pretty. I haven't really used it on my face, but I have swatched it a few times. It's not something that I would normally gravitate to, but I kind of like the concept, so I might have to try that out soon. And then I also have the Tarte blush. It's got like, well, it's a blush palette, but it's got 2 highlighters, and this one is a highlighter and this one down here is a highlighter, but the rest are blushes from Tarte. I used to have a bunch of small minis as well, but I got rid of those because I just have way too many Tarte blushes and way too many MAC blushes. As you can tell, those are like excuse me, my favorites. So this is the blush one, so there's 8 more blushes in here, and then I also have one blush called Sweater Weather in the MAC Holiday palette, which is this middle one right here, which is really pretty, and I really like this palette actually. And then I also have another Tarte blush palette. It's a quad, and it's a nice metal packaging. I really like this packaging, and it comes with 4 different colors, and I don't know if I have repeating colors in anything, but this is Live, Laugh, Love, and Dream, and these ones are really nice as well. Never get enough love. And then I also have the Smashbox Cali Kissed blush palette, and this has 2 blushes, Persimmon and Dragon Fruit. So there's 2 blushes in those ones, so I will go grab a couple more so that we can go over more blushes. Okay, this is a crazy huge section. I'm not even close to being done yet. I still have a couple more palettes to go through after this, but we'll just get quickly started here. So this is the Tarte 2000, I believe 16. That's what I'm writing it down as. I can't quite remember. It's called Bling It On. And this I believe was the 2016 holiday palette, and I have 5 blushes in here. I found that Dollface is in the next holiday palette, which I'll show you. So there's a duplicate, which I wish they kind of switched this out for something else, but there's 5 blushes here. And then in this 2015 holiday palette, this is also Dollface right here. So they have 4, and then Park Avenue Princess as the bronzer, but they have 4 blushes in this one, so that's already 9 blushes already. And then I have the Ambient Light holiday palette from 2021 or 2020, pardon me. And then I have 2 blushes in here, and one of them is, gosh, I don't even remember. I just had it out. One of them is called Mood Exposure, I believe, and one of them is called Vibrant Flush. I just don't know which one is which, and I honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care too much about names, but I have 2 more blushes in this palette. These are the ones that I'm not, like the holiday palettes from Ambient or from Hourglass. I feel like the hype is real, and then I get them and I'm like, I didn't really need that, honestly. And then I have the Cali Contour, again, all these repeats. This one just has 1 blush in it, which is right here. It's just a matte blush, and that's what all it's called, is matte blush. It's really pretty though. And I think, again, another nice face palette for if you're traveling or just want something that's convenient. It is really convenient and compact. And then I also have this beautiful Jouer palette that I got from Rania from RD Lover Bunny. It's called the Bouquet d'Amour, and this has 6 blushes in there as well. Definitely different, especially this like orangey one is very different than anything I have. The other ones could probably be duplicated a little bit, but this one is very different. So I'm glad I have a new brand to try in my collection. So I will show you the next couple more, and then I'll let you guys know about numbers. All right, we're finally, I think we're at the final blushes, and I'm going crazy. This is so exhausting. Whoever does these Excel spreadsheets, I'm working on mine right now as I'm doing this. OMG, it's so much work. Okay, I give anyone credit who does these videos and anyone who does their Excel spreadsheets. This is taking me like days and days to do. All right, so Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush. We have the cream blush right here and the powder blush right here. I would consider this, but I'm gonna call that a just a colored cream highlighter, so I'm just gonna do the 2. So there's 2 in there. And then we have the Bloom from Natasha Denona, which has this creamy blush here, and I could do this as a blush as well, but I would put that as a topper or a highlighter, so I'm going to put it in the highlight collection section thingamajig. And then we have the Cheek Star Reunion Tour from Benefit, and I wanted this so badly because it had Cookie in it, and everyone raves about Cookie, and I really just wanted to try it so bad, and I wanted Hula as well. So I thought, what an opportunity to get the full sizes in here. So it has Sugar Bomb, Dallas, and Georgia. So I really wanted, was it Rock Couture or Rockstar or something, whatever that shimmery like raspberry looking one is, I wanted that. But I'm really happy with the ones that are in here anyway. This is again another nice bring it with you kind of easy face palette, and then I can just bring an under eye setting powder kind of thing, or just use my foundation powder to set underneath my eyes, and I'm good to go if I want to take this like traveling or something. I guess we can all talk about traveling nowadays, which is kind of nice. And then the last one I have is my MAC. This is a 6-pan, like it's, you make it yourself, and they're empty, and then you just buy the pans, the refill pans. And I apologize for the ring light reflection. I don't know what to do. I'll just try and hold it like this. But the colors are really washed out. But this is the Sculpt powder. So then this is, oh gosh, I don't even know, Buff. I can't remember. Peaches, Modern Mandarin, oh my gosh, and Peachy Keen, and I can't remember what that one is. So let's see if I can find it on my sheet here. Dolly Mix. So I have 5 in here, and I don't know what my total is. I'm just going to get that, and then I will let you guys know. All right, so I was at 91 blushes at the end of 2020, and the only thing I brought into my collection so far was this, I believe, and the palette from Rania. And I don't think I brought anything else in, so I must have decluttered something. I can't remember. I think I did declutter a few of my MAC blushes, and then I, of course, brought in this that had 3, and then the 6 in that one palette that Rania gave me. So now I have 94 blushes total, and I really either need to do another declutter and just sort of curate a little bit better, or try to get to understand my collection and see which ones I really like and declutter the ones I don't, or try and get rid of duplicates, because I do want to try some more like cream blushes, although I do have some cream blushes that I have from Saint when I sold the Saint makeup products, but I don't have those all added into my inventory, which I will probably add at the end of 2021, so my numbers will go up again. Because I'm not selling it anymore, I don't count it as a business. I count it as my makeup inventory now. So at the end of 2021, I will update all of those. So my blushes will probably go up by that point, and I do want to pick up a couple other cream blushes. So 94 is what I have now. I really have some serious like consideration to take when it comes to my blush collection, because I just seriously have way too many. This is ridiculous. So on to the next.